We're with Fred Hewett, a senior on the Eastern Connecticut track team. Fred winning the 400 meters at the Little East Conference Championship this past weekend, also finished second in the 200 meters. Fred, we didn't have a lot of depth, or we don't have a lot of depth on this year's team. We got most of our points from the sprints, actually. Were you guys generally happy with where you finished in the meet?
We were pretty happy with it. It's pretty tough no matter what. Having a track team, a track is you need a lot of people. You need jumpers, sprinters, distance runners, and when it's hard to bring that all together sometimes. But we weren't too mad. We were hoping to get top 3, but despite having a lot of injuries, we were missing a lot of people at the meet. Mm-hmm. We weren't too mad. It was sprinting dominated. We did our thing, and it came together. It could things like that. It
is what it is. It was what it was, I guess.
Exactly.
You did very well once again. The good thing, which is different than most meets, usually you're up at 7 in the morning and you're on a bus and you're going to a meet. This time you got to go overnight, get up early, get up at a reasonable time. Did that preparation help you guys more than normal?
Definitely. We left the day before, stayed in a hotel, went out to dinner, so it definitely helps a lot, mentally. Your bodies aren't physically drained waking up 5:30 in the morning to drive 4 hours, sitting on a bus all cramped up. Yeah. So we got in the hotel, had a nice sleep. Most of us didn't have to be at the meet until 11:30, so it worked out perfect.
Before your first event of a meet, how long do you like to get there beforehand?
Definitely about an hour and a half, 2 hours, because you want to get comfortable, get your spot, do a little jog through, feel the track, definitely. So, and the events are always ranged so differently. So, being a sprinter, my event might not go off for 3 hours, but we have a lot of runners that have their events in the beginning. So, we always want to get there enough time for them to get comfortable also. So, it all ranges.
You made a great point there. At different meets over the course of the year, are there some meets you'll get there and you'll run 45 minutes later, and on some meets you get there and you're waiting for 4 hours?
Definitely. Regular meets, a regular season, we'll get there and I pretty much have to wait for my first race to go off. Say I don't do the 60, my first race might be the 200 or the 400, so that might be the wait for me. But say postseason is you go with a number of people and you get into the meet, do your warm-up, you could be running an hour and a half. You check in and it could be just like that, snap of a finger. So it all changes pretty much.
I remember at a meet a couple years ago, I felt really bad. There was an outdoor meet and we had some people that ran the 3 or the 5,000. They didn't run until 5 in the afternoon,
yeah.
And they were there at 9 in the morning.
Yeah.
How do you handle that mentally?
I guess doing track, you get so used to it. Yeah. It's not like a football team where everything is right straight to it. Mm-hmm. But track, you understand. You might take a nap here and there. Say your race isn't until the last one, you want to be relaxed, and then you want to plan out your day so you have enough time to warm up. So you go off the time. You pick your time, you're gonna get ready, start rolling your legs out, start jogging, doing your stretch, and you get used to it, pretty much.
But you don't always know how much time you have to get ready, right? Depending on the speed of the meet.
Depending on the speed of the meet. A regular meet, they might fast forward based on that. But postseason, the thing I like about postseason is no matter what, the times are the times.
Exactly.
So that's why I like the postseason. You're running at this time, and that's it. There's nothing to it. They can't fast forward the meet. I never had a problem with that. I always liked that.
You never missed an event?
No, never had missed an event.
We were up at Southern Maine for the Little East tournament, the Little East Championships. You had been up there before competing at Southern Maine. Mm-hmm. Do you feel comfortable at that facility?
Yeah, some facilities, they're not the best, but you just get to the point where everybody has to run there. Everybody probably feels the same way, so nobody has an advantage except maybe Southern Maine team who practices
Yeah.
there. So other than that, you just pretty much go do what you have to do. You can't let that stuff get in your head, or you lost a race already.
Yeah, you would think, at least, especially for a sprinter, you've got to just get all that stuff out of your head.
Yeah.
All the distractions that there could possibly be, don't you just sort of have to...
Yeah, definitely. It's like sometimes it's hard, like say you're in the seated heat, like the fastest guys at the meet. And you're waiting around, it starts to get to your head, like, and then they start announcing, call your name out. And, sometimes you wish you could just get it over with, but you just learn, you do things like, say, in between the other heats, you take a jog down, just have to keep your body ready for it instead of letting it's better to just go at it, pretty much.
That's the tough part, is killing time in the proper way.
Yeah.
In order to stay ready to go.
Exactly.
Right?
Yep.
And you talked about this before, is that maybe your first year at Eastern is, you sort of changed your approach the way you were talking, is that your first year at Eastern maybe there were other distractions and you thought about a lot of things, and then the last year or so it was more just clear your head and just do it.
Exactly. Just go do it, like you run in so many meets where it just becomes a thing, like you practice it every week, so just go apply it on the track, and that's about it. Like, no need to pay attention to who you're running against, because like it's college athletes. Everybody's has good skills, so you just go out there and try to run your race, and what happens happens. You're not going to win every event, I can promise you that, but...
And that's a big thing to get over, because most people in high school are the premier runners. You get here, and you figure you have a pretty good time, and you finish third or fourth in a race.
Exactly. Like a lot of kids come in, like, we get some kids on the track team that come on, maybe have never ran track before, and may have been the fastest kid in their school, and they think like, oh, it's going to be a walk in the park, but track speed is totally different. Say football, I remember football days, you're trying to avoid getting hit, so you're quick, In basketball, you might be quick, but in track, you don't want to go side to side. You want to stay straight forward. That's just time wasted when you're moving side to side. So the speed change is a lot different compared to any other sport.
Well, you would think, talking about technique, if you're running the 55 or the 60 or even the 100, in terms of technique, if you make one tweak of a technique, it could be the difference between maybe winning or, it could knock off like 1/10 of a second.
Exactly.
Which could be huge.
Yeah, definitely. Like in the 55, they say if you're thinking about it, then you're pretty much not doing what you're supposed to do, because the 55 is one of those races, it's the block start. Your block start is everything. Once you get out, you do what you do, and the race is over. There's not even time to think. If you're thinking about the race, then you're pretty much not doing what you're supposed to do out there.
So it could be good. 55 in the sense that...
55, exactly. It's good for your mind, You just get it over with, get the jitters out of the way, and see your time.
And just go for it.
It's over. Snap of a finger, it's over.
Well, then what's the most agonizing event? Pain-wise.
Pain-wise? My opinion, definitely the 400. 400-meter dash is definitely the most painful in my eyes, if it's ran right. There's a lot of tough races out there. A lot of people will say the 4 and the 8 are you'll definitely see some pain in those races. The 800, yeah, definitely.
Really?
Yeah. The 800, I never ran the 800, so I can't speak straightforwardly, but the 800, there's some time off, like where you can relax a little more.
Yeah.
But the 400, it's pretty much that one. Say it's outdoor, you're pretty much sprinting the whole track, and that's a very painful feeling. When you get to the finish line, you'll feel everything in your body aching.
How does your brain talk your body into dealing with that pain? Because you know it's coming.
Yeah, you know it's coming. Like, say I run the 400, I get nervous. My opinion is, if you're not nervous, then maybe, I see nerve as a good thing. Like, it's always good to be nervous. But when I get in the 400, I pretty much get in my blocks, and I'm like, all right, I talk to myself like, okay, like 50 seconds of pain, and then it's over with. So you pretty much just accept it and then try your best, and that's it. 50 seconds is over with. And you can just relax all you want.
Well, you're a sprinter, and you've been chasing the 200 and the 400 record at Eastern indoors, and both of those records are held by former All-Americans at Eastern, including I believe Jason Edwards has the 200. Or the 200 is it attainable for you? Do you think, either indoor or outdoor, to break either of those records? Because those are pretty darn good records.
Yeah, if there's a record that I would say that I'm pretty much set on breaking, it would definitely be the outdoor 400 record, because just the 400 in general, that's where my focus is on a lot. I just like to. Every week I'm trying, I'm learning, looking at video, just looking at where I can improve in it. And indoors, it's definitely harder to run the 400 indoors. So outdoor, you get there, the time comes off. So the 400 outdoor I'm coming for that record. I've been working for this, so I'm going to keep going at it, and hopefully it comes.
Well, you're not that far off that record, correct?
No, not too far, but like the record's 48.27 or so, I believe 48.27. Right, last year my PR was a 48.75. It's not far, but in the 400, that's a lot. Like the difference between that in our mind is wow. Say a regular person would just look at that like, oh, that's not that bad.
Exactly.
In a 400 runner's mind, you definitely know, wow, like, this much is pretty.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. It's a lot of work.
When you get to a race, can you feel it inside you whether you're gonna have a good day or not?
That's a weird one right there, because I definitely. Yeah, like if my legs feel real tired, like, in my mind, I'm like a little scared because, wow, will I have enough to run this 400, But definitely I like to have a certain type of feeling. Like I could definitely tell, like, I should be running a pretty good time today. Just based off my body, how my body feels. I can read my body.
And outdoor-wise, Fred, the weather's got to play a major factor, no?
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Especially living here in New England, where, outdoor, say like all the other sport teams, spring sports, baseball, lacrosse, like it's hard for them. They can't get rid of the snow right now, but it definitely it's hard in track, because like the best times in the beginning of the outdoor season, say I could be most people running 51s, 52s, like that could win meets, but you get mid outdoor season where you get some really nice weather, snap of a finger, somebody could be running 48, 47, 49. So the weather has a lot to do with it. That's why you see a lot of more teams, down south or out west. When you look at the rankings, mostly it's those teams that have the weather all year round. So
makes sense.
It's nothing new to them. But for us, it's a transition.
Well, how do you do it? How do you transition from you're indoor and you're trying to peak, coming up, you're trying to peak now, you have the conference, then the New England's, then the Open, the ECAC, the Nationals, and then you take a couple of weeks off and you start outdoors, and then you have to sort of start working towards peaking all over again?
It's definitely like something like Coach Meniza works on, because she pays attention to a lot of that. They definitely like ask us runners, we tell them how we feel, and they'll adjust our workouts based off that, because every week it could be totally different. One workout could totally put us down the drain where our bodies just have nothing left. But that's something that Coach Meniza, Coach Wilkie, and Coach Edwards do a good job with. They read the runners, and they'll base things off of that.
But do you sort of have to re-peak?
Yeah, definitely for outdoor. Like you come into outdoor, it's like starting fresh again.
Yeah,
and the
right.
good thing is your body's in shape. Like we're in top line shape, especially running track. Like all we do is run. It's pretty hard not to get in shape. So yeah. So it's definitely, you repeat. Take it easy at first. You build into it, and then come postseason or the end of outdoor, that's when the time should start shaving. You should start shaving times off of
If all things come together.
If all things come
you're
together.
healthy.
There's definitely injuries. It's many things. It's many things that can play a factor. Mental injuries.
Do you see, just a couple more questions to let you go, do you see nutrition as a factor at all?
Definitely, yeah, definitely. Like Coach Min is a big nutritionist. Like she, like we might slack off here and there, and she'll get on us, eating right. But it is proven. All you got to do is go online nowadays, and you look at the best runners in the world and how they eat. Like it has a lot of drinking fluids, drinking a lot of water, and especially like three days before, like you wanna, like your body, that could come out on the track, like you don't wanna go eat a 20-piece McNuggets from McDonald's, but you definitely have to watch what you eat.
Have you changed that at all in the years you've been here?
I would say definitely, like, sprinters always have like a different mindset, like, when we're hungry, we're gonna eat, I don't wanna starve myself. But I watch what I eat to a certain extent. But sometimes it's like when you're burning so many calories, it just goes right through you.
Yes.
Yeah, especially with running.
Well, last question. This is your third year, your final season. Is there anything, and you did talk about the records a little bit, is there anything between the end of the indoor and then the outdoor, is there anything that you would, as a goal, that you would really say, I would really, really love to do this before I graduate?
Before I graduate, what I plan on doing, or should I say what I am going to do, is to break the 400 record. That has been on my mind since I got here. And I know it takes a lot of hard work, I'm doing everything I can, putting in the work in the weight room, all of that. But that 400 record I respect that record. Out of all the records I see up there, that 400 record is the one I respect. And I've talked to him personally, Dave Nicholson. I see him at meets, try to get pointers, anything. So, I'm doing anything to get that record. And that's a fast time. So, but there's a lot of records up there, like Coach Edwards' records, and wow, All-American, Nicholson, Edwards, All-American runners, it's no joke.
I can't see our long jump record that Jason Edwards has being broken. But you go to meets, and people are still like 5 feet behind that record.
Exactly. Like if you look on the ranking list, like top Division III jumpers, his time would, if say he was jumping now, it would still be the best there is, So it's something to think about. It's the talent. It's real.
Fred, thanks for your time. Hey, good luck the rest of the indoor and postseason, and good luck in the outdoor.
Thank you.